So you started a brand new podcast. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. From here on out, you're going to see smooth sailing and you'll never have another bumpy road again. Wrong. That is not true at all. And it has not been my experience as I've been on this podcasting journey. So let me tell you a little bit about what you can actually expect. Hey everybody, Krystal here. So I wanted to give you some of the real actual facts of what you can expect now that you have a podcast, because I think that there's a lot of misconception that, oh, if you build it, they will come. And that's not true. So there are a lot of people that think that they can just create a podcast, slap it out on the internet, and everything is fine. You don't have to do anything else. It's fine. It's perfect. Everybody's just going to magically Google exactly the right thing that they need to search for. They're going to find you, and then poof, just like that, you're going to have millions of downloads. And that is not true. It's not true, even just like a tiny little itty bitty tiny little bit. No, it's not true at all. So what I want to share with you today are 3 things that I wish I would have known when I first started podcasting. The first is my voice sounds weird. And I know it actually doesn't, but in my head, my voice sounds weird. And I did not realize how much I was going to be kind of weirded out by the sound of my own voice, like listening to it over and over and over and over again. Now I've been podcasting. I have more than 120 something episodes, and it's fine. Like it doesn't even feel like my voice anymore. It feels like I'm editing someone else's voice, and it doesn't bother me. But when I first got started, y'all, it was so weird. It's like, do you remember when you would hear, you'd be in your kitchen and your old school, the voicemail box would go, and then you would hear the household family voicemail box? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Someone call, "Hi, you've reached the Proffitt residence. We can't get to the phone right now, so please leave a message after the tone." Beep, right? I know what I'm talking about. Well, my mom, I still remember to this day, walking into the kitchen, and she would hear, we would be getting home and somebody was calling and they were about to leave a voicemail, and she would hear her own voice and be like, "Oh my gosh, is that really what I sound like?" That's the reaction I had when I first started podcasting. Is like, oh my gosh, is that really my voice? Is that what I sound? I hate it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But if you just keep going and if you keep pushing past that, I promise you, it just gets better with time. After a while, it just sounds like almost you're listening to someone else talk, because you get so used to hearing your own voice and you quit being so critical, because guys, at the end of the day, it's not about you, okay? And I say this all the time. It is about you adding value to your audience. So people don't care. I have a Texas accent. Maybe that's why a lot of you enjoy watching this show, because I have a Texas accent, and maybe it makes you feel a little bit more like home if you're from Texas and you moved away, or you just like the southern drawl that I have, but it's my voice. I can't do anything about it, and you can't do anything about yours either. And I don't think that you should try. I think that you should just be exactly who you are and embrace your voice. So that is my tip number 1, is embrace your voice, because you can't do anything about it anyway. My second tip that I have for you is stop spending so much time editing. Oh my gosh. And I know, I think it's the default that we have. When we first get started, we think, okay, if I'm not spending X amount of time editing, then am I even doing it right? And my tip for you is you don't have to edit out every single little thing. Oh my gosh, I remember when I first started, I tried to edit out every and deep breath. And oh my gosh, I kind of stumbled when I said something and I shouldn't have said it like that. Oh my gosh, it's not perfect, and it's never going to be. So I'm telling you this, you're brand new to podcasting. I am telling you, it's never going to be perfect. I still mess up. I was just editing the other day and I realized, oh man, I cut myself off. I actually hit the stop button before I had finished recording what I needed to say. And instead of worrying about it and like, oh my gosh, fretting, and I have to go back and change it, and I have to just scrap the whole thing, I just kind of cut off a little bit more and said, you know what, it's fine. I'm just going to turn my music up a little bit sooner, and it's fine. It's totally fine. It's not going to be perfect. So don't spend hours of your life trying to edit your podcast to be perfect. Just know you're just getting started. You're going to get better as time goes on, okay? This is a marathon. This is not a sprint, and just keep going and trying to get better every single time, and it'll happen. I promise. You're going to get better as time goes on. And my third tip for you that I want to share today is do not, I repeat, do not compare your podcast to anyone else's. I know, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic whenever you can say, oh, my podcast is kind of like this one, or I want it to be representative of this, or I think I want it to be a little bit like this show. I think that that's okay if you are trying to use something as like your guidelines or your framework for how you want your podcast to sound. But at the end of the day, it's just going to lead to destruction if you keep just saying, my podcast isn't good enough. It doesn't have this many downloads in this amount of time, and it's blah, 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 blah. None of that matters. What matters is the people that you are helping. Are you helping to empower somebody today? Are you motivating them? Are you teaching them something? Are you just making them laugh? Like, y'all, there is so much to be said about just listening to something that makes you feel good and just makes you laugh. And I think that that's more important than the downloads and the chart toppers and like all these things that we get whenever we start comparing ourselves to someone else. So that is my tip number 3. Please do not compare yourself to anyone else. Stay in your lane, put your head down, do the work, and it's going to pay off. Add value every step of the way, and you're going to see big rewards from your audience. So if you are brand new to podcasting, tell me in the comments below how long you've been podcasting, what the name of your show is, and what industry or category or what do you talk about on your podcast? Because I want to give you a shout out in one of the upcoming videos. So make sure, put a comment below and tell me all the things. So if you're brand new to podcasting, I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. That way you don't miss any of our other podcasting videos. Make sure you check out these other videos that we already have. And that's all I have for you today, guys. So remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.